Hello. Welcome to another video. We're still trying out the Hamburg DLC. So this is Route 6 variation 1. So this is the first variation. The second variation was on the previous video. So hopefully we don't run into some dead-end roads like we did on the previous video. So let's jump right ahead. For those of you who might have questions regarding the stability of this game, they have enabled DLSS in this game now, so the frame rate is a little bit more stable than before. As you can see here, anti-aliasing, super resolutions, you can enable DLSS and the other options as well if you want. You can activate auto detect. I always have my settings on DLSS, super resolution, and then on the preset I have it on epic rather than custom. But yeah, for most cases I rarely get any stuttering or freeze frames. But obviously, like, you know, the game is still in I wouldn't say open beta, it's still in well, it's still an experimental release, so you can expect the bugs to be around. But the version that I'm running is a beta version of the experimental release. So yeah, let's see here. One second. If I go to the store page, it says this game, yeah, early access. There we go. So early access release. It's been on early access for quite a while now, so hopefully it's getting close to being fully released. But as you know, early access means bugs, and more bugs. So yep. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start again. So sometimes I do experience that, like, some passengers just disappears as they board the bus, and sometimes you might even experience customers not being on the bus stop at all, so you end up having an entire journey with 0 customers at all. So those, I believe, are just bugs, which hopefully will be fixed later on. But let's get in and start our journey because I'm already late. For my setup, I have obviously the Fanatec DD Clubsport DD Plus. So this is the PlayStation compatible one, and I just have the basic wheel. I didn't get any fancy wheel for this. I also have the Moza stock behind. I had to get this custom installed because obviously it doesn't install directly to the Fanatec wheel. So I'm using the Fanatec the shaft extension. So I'm using the longer one that comes directly from Fanatec, not the third-party one. Hopefully I will get the third-party one so I can have the wheels a bit more close to me. But for now, I only have that. Obviously, my Fanatec shifter. I have the new handbrake, but unfortunately, this handbrake, you cannot really map it to this game because this game expects the handbrake to be a button map, whereas this one is not a button, unfortunately, and I don't know how to convert it into a button so I can map it into the controls. But yeah, so this is useless at the moment. So I'm using the Logitech. God, I keep forgetting the names of these ones. Let me see here. It's the Logitech SideTech side panel control deck. I think this is used for farming simulator, so I'm just using this for extra button mapping so that I don't have to use my keyboard. But yeah, most the functionality of the bus will be here: the doors, the windows, the light switches, all that, all of that other stuff will be there. So that's what I'm using for mapping there. And I usually have my tablet here for, you know, heads-up displays and stuff like that. But I'm not using that today. Hopefully I will have that back on the next video. But yeah, so that's where all my controls are. So let's get going. And so close the door. Let's see here. I'm just gonna put on my headset so I can have the sound playing my headset rather than my speakers. I do have a speaker underneath my chair which acts as a butt kicker as well, so that like you can get the vibration of the bus while you're driving, and when I'm playing other games as well, it's really good to just get that vibration running through the actual seat, and then, you know, it just gives you like a sensation of like you actually are inside of a cockpit and stuff like that. So you don't really need a you know, a butt kicker if you can get a really good quality speaker, and then just place it underneath that your seat, and then just let the vibration vibrate through the actual seat itself. But yeah, okay, so starting the engine. Before I start the engine, let me get the lights on. I'm gonna start this as well, so I won't have to map it later. I think that's all the minimum stuff that I need. Yeah, there we go. Right. Start the engine. So often than not I get this. So the engine, the engine start is mapped to a press and hold, but sometimes that just goes bad if I don't do it correctly. I have the handbrake mapped to pole position of the shifter. The drive is mapped on fourth position, and then I think neutral is mapped. Oh, sorry, that's reverse. But I don't have neutral. I do have neutral mapped, I think, yeah. But yeah, so parking brake, drive, reverse. So we put that on parking brake, and let's start the operation. So we have 1416, line 6 toward this is toward number 3. So we start this. Back and then open the door, hopefully people will get in. I also have a Tobii eye tracker, so that allows me to move my head and then control the view. They really, I think they still need to improve the controls for this Tobii eye tracker. So if I go to options and I come down to, I think, is it here? Feedback. Yeah, there we go. So Tobii eye tracker extension here. They really need to have a way for us to recenter the eye tracker so that it doesn't always pick up the default position that the you know, the tracker is sending. Because like if you have the tracker position like above your head, and then it's facing you on a downward position, then that means in the game you're going to be looking down rather than looking straight ahead, and you can't reset it to look straight ahead. So the only way to adjust that is by reducing the camera angle. So when you reduce the camera angle, that means you have less movement from left to right, up and down, and that really hurts the experience using the Tobii tracker. So they should have a way, just like SES do in your truck and American truck, a way for you to use whatever position your eye tracker is, and then recalibrate that so that whatever angle it's looking at, that will be the default angle. So everything reset to 0, so that way I can leave this angle at 100%. That way I get full movement around without having to compromise, like, you know, how sensitive the tracker is. So at the moment you cannot really reset the position regardless of where you put the tracker. So you have to pick a very good position to put your tracker. Otherwise you're going to end up having the camera look either downwards or too upwards, or even a little too much on the left or too much on the right. So if they can introduce a way for us to recalibrate the tracker, or it resets the telemetry that the tracker is sending, so that it assumes the position that it's facing it's 0 rather than whatever it actually is, that would be really good. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm kind of stuck to just reducing the angle to 50% so that it doesn't go too down or too up. Alright, so off we go, and I think I am I want to see what's the angle, because I used to have this angle properly mapped, but I'm guessing the angle has changed. What is the steering angle? I guess there is none. So if I come here and say, and then say sensitivity, yeah, sensitivity is way too high. I'm not gonna put a 90. I think it's 180. So if I get it correctly, then the steering wheel should match the angle. So if I look correctly here, if I increase that, no, down. There we go. So this angle matches the steering in the game, and it's 180. So we're going to leave that on 180. Start that. Go on light. Now I'm already wasting time here, but and this thing was way too wide. Stop here. Like the one thing that I like about this game is that the quality. It's always like it looks almost realistic. You know, that's the good thing about this pussy. Like compared to the other ones, like this one feels more like it's actually, you know, it almost feels too real. Like if you show this to someone who has a hard time, like, you know, identifying the difference between a video game and real world, they might actually think this is you know, happening in real life. Like that's the good thing about it. Like if they just polish the game and remove, like, you know, reduce the bugs and all that stuff, then this will be the best boss simulation game ever. And maybe make the map a little bit better, because the one thing that I noticed is that the roads here are very small for these buses, and the collision box are another thing that annoys me, because you might think, oh, you have enough space between the roads and the edge of the road, but you don't. One little mistake and then you'll be scraping the road and you're hitting something completely. Looks like there's nobody here, so we're just gonna go. And they should do something about the dead end roads. Those dead end roads are a little bit of pain. Like on the map it says obviously that is a road, but on the game it says like that road is blocked. So they said there are passengers here, but I don't see any passenger. See, there's nobody there. Actually, should be on this side here. I think I have just encountered this bug where there's no passengers out there. Just a bunch of invisible passengers. What I can do is I can check who's actually on the bus. So there are some people on the bus, but I just hate the fact that like it feels like, you know, there are nobody out there.
Nächste Haltestelle, Sperrsort.
That was close. I think the brake didn't work there. Don't stop, don't stop. I don't even know which button map is my horn. Finally, somebody had to stop. There's somebody's there left as well. Oh wow, he's not getting on. Rude. Yeah, at the moment the FPS is about 70 to 80 FPS. So I'm averaging around 60. I think yeah, this lane is for the bus, so this one is open. Yeah, you guys better get on. Can't have an empty bus. So we also have like a bus specific traffic light, in case you haven't seen them before. So they're the ones with the white light. Somebody's going to Tigers cards, whatever you call it. And they have 20 euro cash. Come on, man. So that's 1160. Funny how this game makes you do maths. It'd be nice if it just tells you what to change and you can just press the change. traffic light is green. I don't know why, but the Scania bus just feels nicer to drive compared to it all. It looks good as well on the inside. Hopefully they can get more buses possible.
Morgen. Ich brauche
Guten Morgen, Hamburg. Cash. 5 euros. 5 euro and 40 cents. This is a long route, by the way. So we still have another 20 minutes of drive. I think rain has stopped. The rain here looks really nice. That's one thing for sure. Give me the green lights. There we go. Going. Run. Priority traffic lights. We're staying on the bus lane here. And then we're stopping for these guys. That traffic was green, so I'm going to indulge myself even though turn red. Taking a left turn here, and then we have a bus only right, and then that's green. Go. And then there's a stop here directly. Then again, this is a bus only road, so it's okay. Hi. That was one very fit old man. You need a ticket? I'll give you a ticket. Hamburg. I have a card, you don't need a receipt. Okay, that's fine. Next time I'm going to try and create my own route on this map, see if it will let me. Too much stress, Too much stress. I was waiting for you to move, my man. It's a nice Mercedes you have there. Indian cuisine. Namaste.
Nächste Haltestelle, Gertigstraße.
Peace. Oh my god. Right, gotta turn here. This is a tight road. Right side up. Alright, you guys don't want to get in. That's okay.
Nächste Haltestelle, Semperstraße.
The passenger models characters have improved as well. They look much nicer. Their shader is a little bit off. They look pale skin, but they look much nicer. One more stops and then we're done. Thank you.
Diese Fahrt endet hier. Wir bitten alle auszusteigen. U-Bahn-Bergweg.
We'll be making a left over here and then find a stop. That's green, but this one is not. Go on.
Nächste Haltestelle, U-Bahn-Bergweg.
And we are here. Let's see who left their trash in my bus. What are you guys still here for? You guys have to get out. You have to get out. It's the final stop. Let's just grab that trash. So yeah, sometimes you just get people like that who get on the bus but they don't get off at the final stop. Throw away the trash. And that's it. That's all the stops. Now that I opened the door, these guys are trying to get on because they think the service is now going somewhere else. Yeah, they like
Hallo,
they need to fix that.
guten Morgen. Ich hätte
I'm
gerne
not
einen
selling your
Fahrschein.
tickets, ma'am. This is the final stop. Not selling your tickets. Shutting down the engine. Goodbye.